Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super special because it's the start of another series that I'm doing, and this time it is in collaboration with one of my very good friends, Messy Downunder. We've decided that we're going to do a little bit of a series where we talk about like our top 5 different kinds of products, so like top 5 lipsticks, etc, and today is the very first one and we're talking about our top 5 eyeshadow palettes. Woohoo! We thought it might be a good idea because we're quite different colouring and we also have quite different like tastes in makeup, I guess. Messy's like really into really colourful, like bold makeup, and while I can get on that train, I love neutrals and love like real, I don't know, like pretty makeup, I guess. Messy and I have this thing where whenever we go out together, like if we're doing our makeup, we kind of will think that we've done an amazing job, and then we'll see the other person and we're like, oh, my makeup's shit. Well, that's how I feel like every time I see her. So I'll be really interested to see what products she's using that is like beating me at the makeup game. So I'm really sorry, but all of my palettes are pretty high end, which kind of sucks, but I really just feel like for eyeshadows, the drugstore just doesn't cut it. Like, they're fine, you can get some good like looks out of them, but for every day, what I want to use all the time, what I reach for, nah, they're not as good, I'm sorry. And I also left out my single eyeshadows because like a palette that I made myself, I think that's kind of cheating. So I wonder if Messy will put that in. So I kind of put these in order from like the 5th to like my favourite palette ever. So I guess I'll just get started. Number 5 is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I have like the old one where it's super fat and the names of the eyeshadows are not on the inside, but if you haven't seen it, it looks like this, and I actually don't use this palette that often, even though the shadows are beautiful, but it just smells so good. Oh my god, so it smells like exactly like chocolate. But if my hay fever is bad that day, then that is not a good thing, but I love the smell. Like sometimes I just sit here smelling it. Like if I'm playing a computer game, sometimes I just whip it out and I'm like, yes. It's no good if you're hungry though, because it will make you so much more hungrier. So this is a pretty neutral eyeshadow palette. The colours that are a bit more colourful, like this purple here and this like olive green over there, they're actually the two that I don't like at all in this palette. Not because they're colourful, but because I just don't think the quality is as good. But I love this one and this one and this one and this like a burgundy shade. And this shimmery colour here and this highlight are absolutely stunning. I love them. Number 4 is one of the Naked palettes, and this is the Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay. This is the one that has all of the rose tones. This is what it looks like on the inside, all these beautiful like pinks and greys. This one is very cool toned, except for like this rose gold here, which is pretty warm, which is pretty weird. But I love this because I am so cool toned. At the moment, I've got a little bit of a tan, just a little bit, so I'm not as cool toned. Like, I put on a warm foundation today and it was a big thing for me. But when I'm pale, which is pretty much all the time, this is one of my go-tos. Like, I just love it. And even like the mattes are kind of like pinkish, mauvish colours. And this grey over here, holy moly, I love this grey. I love it, I love it, I love it. I just love this. And the pinks, I don't know, they like go nicely with my blue eyes, I guess. And the quality of the shadows is amazing, and it's just so good. I will leave any tutorials that I've got using any of these palettes in the down bar, because I've got a couple. I think I recently did one for this and using like the rose gold, and it was very pretty and very on trend. Everyone's like obsessed with rose gold at the moment, so I highly recommend this, especially if you are cool and pale. Number 3 is this little Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This one is the Shadow Couture World Traveler palette, and this was the first time that I had ever used Anastasia shadows. This is what it looks like, and I've got to say, like, I know that they send out a lot of PR packages to people on YouTube, but it is worth it. Like, these shadows are amazing. Amazing. I love them. So apparently these like palettes are supposed to be used like in a quads, if that makes sense. Like, so this is supposed to be a quad and then you move one along, and this is a quad and then you move one along, and you can use this as a quad and then you move one along. But I don't know about for this palette. I don't feel like that really works. But these first four here are the ones that I use the most because they're the most neutral. But I think I have a tutorial using this blue one as well, and I just filmed something using this gold one and this pink one and this pink one and all of these neutrals. So I just love this palette. It's so good. My favourite colour is pink champagne. Like, this comes as a single as well. But if you need something just like crazy bright on the lid or in the inner corner, it's so pretty. And these don't have a lot of fallout. They're great. They don't have a lot of like kickback. They're not really dusty. So that's pretty amazing. It means like you're not using excess amount of product when you don't need to. And I love it. I love it. And this I think was the cheapest out of all of them. I'm pretty sure this was $54 at Sephora. You can get these from Sephora Australia. I'll leave a link below if they're on the website for there, but they might just be in store. Or you can buy them off the Anastasia Beverly Hills website, but shipping to Australia is $17.95 US, which is crazy. But, I mean, if you go in with a few people, then it's okay because it's a flat rate. So maybe that's better. I don't know. I'm not buying anything, obviously, because I'm a no-buy. Oh, we're into the top 2. And if you watch my videos a lot, then you're probably not surprised about this because I use it all the time. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette, and it is pretty wondrous. I'm in love with this. This is a daily staple for me. Daily. Like, every single day. This eyeshadow here is one of the only eyeshadows I've ever hit pan on, ever. Or except for in the next palette I'm about to talk about. But like, look how big it is and I hit pan on it. It's crazy. I'm pretty proud of it and also terrified of that running out. So I use this yellow colour here to set like my eye primer, my matte paint pot every single day. And then like, oh. And then I use every other shadow like just on the rest of my eyes. So this palette is also split up into like quads. So this quad here at the very beginning is supposed to be like a neutral quad. This quad in the middle is a cool quad, and then this quad at the end is a warm quad. If you have hooded eyes, then this is great because it's all matte, so you don't have to worry about like shimmer accentuating your hood. And I love, love, love this cool quad when I'm doing kind of like either an intense cut crease or like kind of more of a subtle cut crease. The greyish browns really like make it look more like an actual shadow, so it kind of gives the illusion that you've got a crease higher than your crease actually is, if that makes sense. This palette does have quite a lot of like kick up. It's like quite powdery, but I think it's just because the shadows are so freaking pigmented and they blend so easily. It's amazing. I highly, highly recommend this, even if you don't have hooded lids, even if you're just a normal person, like, you need this. This one is also available at Sephora for Australians, and it is $65, I think. Alright, we're on to spot number 1, and I haven't actually used this palette in a little while. Well, no, that's a lie, I used it yesterday, but I haven't used it on the regular in a little while. But I picked it back up and I was like, oh yeah, this is the best palette that was ever invented, and it is the Lorac Pro Palette. This is the original one. Oh my gosh, this palette is just perfection. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It's got a row of mattes at the top and a row of shimmers at the bottom, and they are so insanely buttery and pigmented. Like, I just can't. Like, literally nothing else feels like these. None of those palettes that I just spoke about feel like this. I just have to like swatch one for you, I don't know. So here's pewter on my finger, and like, I'm sorry, is that the most perfect eyeshadow you've ever seen? Because it's the most perfect eyeshadow I've ever seen. It's amazing. Actually, pewter is a beautiful colour. It's kind of like greyish, purplish, taupish. It's pretty much the best. So as you can see, I've hit pan on cream here. In fact, it's almost all gone. That's what I used to use to set my eye primer, but I've had to move on. Oh, this palette, it's just stunning. Like, I don't know what else I can say about it. If I was going to be super, super picky and pick one complaint about it, it would be that the black isn't black enough. It's black, but it's kind of like a greyish black. It's not black. Also for my pale girls out there, Nude, which is this one down here in Champagne, are amazing, not only as eyeshadows, but as cheek highlighters. And they're super pale, and they're freaking great. I love them. This is the palette that if I could only use one palette ever again for the rest of my life, this is what I would choose. Like, it wouldn't even be a hard choice. I'd just be like, oh yeah, Lorac Pro, of course. Because it's like, it's got all the mattes, it's got all the shimmers, it's got everything going for it, and it's the best. Okay guys, so that is the end of my video. I think I have rambled on long enough about eyeshadow palettes now. I will leave links to all of the products that I talked about in the description box, as well as the names in case you forgot. Make sure you check out Messie's video, and don't forget to subscribe to her channel as well. But before you leave, give this video a thumb up, subscribe to my channel, and then I'll see you guys next time. Bye!